I'm Kaylee, and I am back with 5 more ways to read more and enjoy it. In case you didn't know, Books for MKs is a charity that donates books to missionary kids. So if you want to donate to the kids, you can do so at GoFundMe.com. There's a link down in the description, and there's a button at the end of this video. So I recently made a video entitled How to Read More and Enjoy It. And of course, right after I finished filming it, I thought of a ton more ways to read more and enjoy it. And so we have a second video. You get a sequel. So a lot of the tips that I had in my last video were more attitude and kind of philosophical things and sort of things like, rearranging your schedule and sort of how to arrange your life so that you have time to read, that kind of thing. Motivating yourself and stuff like that. So these tips are actually much more practical, and some of them are very common, probably things you may have already thought of. But after I did that other video, it was more about attitude, and so these are more actual, just concrete things that you can do, or that you can have, or that you can be, I don't know, so that you can read more. So number 1 is fairly obvious. Take a book with you wherever you go. Rory Gilmore did it, and it really worked for her. If you literally just have a book with you all the time, which with a smartphone is easier than ever, just download the Kindle app onto your phone, and there you go. You have a book with you all the time. If you get to an appointment early, then you can sit there and read for 10 minutes. If you end up having to stay somewhere later than you thought and you're waiting on someone, whatever it is, we all have kind of this dead time in our lives when we're just waiting on something, and you just whip out your book or whip out your phone and you have 10 to 15 minutes or longer or whatever of reading time. Ha-ha. Another great way to read on the go is, of course, audiobooks. So many people who have a long commute love listening to audiobooks. Even if your commute isn't that long. I mean, let's say you drive 15-20 minutes to get to work. Hey, that's 20 minutes of reading time, Audiobooks are also so helpful if you're just doing sort of mundane chores. You're doing the dishes or the laundry or cleaning or ironing or whatever, and it's something that doesn't really require a lot of brain power, then you can still listen to your book while you're doing things and not be too distracted or anything. A lot of people like to listen to audiobooks while they exercise or while they jog or something. Me, I need music when I exercise because it gets me pumped and it gets me moving and it gives me energy, whereas a book doesn't usually give me the energy that I need to, get that adrenaline flowing and stuff. But some people love to listen to audiobooks while they jog or while they exercise. And audiobooks are so much easier to access than people realize. Most libraries have an audiobook app. Like in Georgia, we have Hoopla, where I can just go on there, look up an audiobook, download it right to my phone and listen. Or I don't even have to download it, I can just stream it. And then within 2 to 3 weeks, it expires. And so I won't be able to access it again without actually, requesting it from the library again. So usually right away, within the next day or something, then you can just check out, the audiobook again and listen to the rest of it. One of the most important ways that I motivate myself to read more is the GoodReads challenge. Some people like the GoodReads challenge. Some people say it puts too much pressure on them. Some people are just like, I don't even care. I love the GoodReads challenge. The GoodReads challenge is my life. I especially love that it says you are 1 book ahead, or it says you are 3 books behind. If you follow my Instagram, you saw last month that I posted that I was 7 or 8 books behind, and I was just freaking out, like, how did I get so behind? But it really keeps me on track. Like, it really makes me realize, oh no, you did not read enough this week. And of course, you can make the challenge be whatever you want it to be. You can change the challenge. And I've done that a couple of times. I started out with my GoodReads challenge was 200 books. And in the middle of the year, I was like, you know what? We're just going to make it 175. I'm not there, So you can always adjust it to be whatever you want. And really, it doesn't even have to be the GoodReads challenge. It can be any kind of challenge, any kind of goal that you have. Like I have a goal separate from the GoodReads challenge that I want to read 12 classics this year. So 1 classic per month. So I keep track of my goals, and it keeps me on track, and it keeps me motivated, and I just keep reading more classics. So this is especially useful as a way to make you read more. If you have a definite goal and you have a definite number, and it really will keep you on track with your reading. Another fantastic way to catch up with your reading and read more are Read-A-Thons. I love Read-A-Thons, they're so much fun. One of the tips that I shared in my previous video was to share the experience, share the reading experience with others, whether it's through a book club or whether it's through a GoodReads group or whatever it is, whether it's online or in person. You want to share your reading experience, and that'll motivate you to read more. And Read-A-Thons are the best way to do it, because Read-A-Thons are all about reading as much as possible in a small amount of time. I mean, if you get 7 to 8 books behind on your GoodReads challenge like I did, there is nothing like a Read-A-Thon to catch you up, because reading becomes your #1 priority. Like, it's above eating and sleeping. It's above work. It's above friends and family time. Like, it is the very top priority for the next 24 hours, for the next 5 days, for however long the Read-A-Thon goes on. And that can be so much fun for a short amount of time. You couldn't sustain that for very long, because real life comes knocking on the door. But Read-A-Thons are a fantastic way to get you motivated and excited about reading more. And my last tip, and one of my favorites, is to use bookish gadgets. I mean, if you have like that perfect little reading light, or if you have, I don't know, have you guys seen those thingies that you put on your thumb and it's supposed to hold the pages open? I don't know. There's all kind of weird bookish gadgets that you can use, and they're so much fun. There's ones where it'll hold your book open like on a little pedestal or something. So those are really cool if you're trying to eat or you're trying to do something else and you need your book to stay open. On the other video, or maybe it was a different video, I forget what video it was, but someone commented that they have difficulty focusing, and so they're not able to read as much as they'd like to. And I suggested that they could get a bookmark that has a little window in it, or even just use a bookmark down the page to keep track of what line you're on, because I think sometimes people, there's all these distractions and they just can't focus on what's going on. So if you just go one line at a time and you can focus on what you're reading, you'd be able to read much more. Everybody's reading style, I guess, is a little different. Some people like to read in bed. Some people want to sit on the couch. Some people like to be lying down. Some people can't read lying down. You have to be sitting up. Some people like to crack their book open. Some people think that's horrible. You cracked the spine. No. So if you can find a book gadget that enables your style of reading, like if you like to lie down, they actually have these glasses that have little mirrors in them so that you can see something that's downward from where you're looking. So you can lay down and you can see your book. It's kind of weird, but it works, I guess. A lot of people like to read while they're eating their breakfast or while they're eating their lunch. So that one of holding your book open might be perfect for you. So if you can find that perfect bookish gadget that just fills your heart with joy, then that would be a great way to motivate you to read more. Please leave a comment down below and let me know what are your best ways to make yourself read more. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and remember, the right book in the right hands at the right time can change the world.